Once upon a time, there was a very bookish podcast. Welcome back to Pages for Ages, Episode 3. I'm your host, Paige Turner, and today we are going to be talking about my current reads, a review roundup of some of the books I've finished recently, and when buying books can stray into overconsumption. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, but first, I am going to do the thing that all YouTubers do and ask you to like, subscribe, and leave a comment if I turn them on. I understand that for the last few episodes, I keep accidentally turning the comments off. I'm really sorry, but if you can comment, please do. Just say hi, let me know what you're currently reading, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Pages for Ages. I'm going to kick off with what I am currently reading, which is 2 books, one physical, one audio. I am reading on physical The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins, and also on Audible I'm listening to Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir, because the Project Hail Mary movie has just come out and I really want to watch it, but I have so much left of the book, so I'm going to lock in and finish it. But with the Let Them Theory, it is non-fiction, sort of just how by giving other people and other people like the freedom to live their lives, you're reclaiming your power and you get to live your life through just letting other people be. And I think that's just like a really good message, and I'm just enjoying reading that and just seeing how I can apply it to my life, because I think everybody can. So I think everyone should read that book. And Project Hail Mary, so far it's really good. There's a lot of like sciencey stuff in there, so I don't know how that's gonna pan out. There's an awful lot. He's like talking about he's like astrophage this and like gravity this, and I don't know. I can't think of all the complex stuff off the top of my head, but there's a lot of sciencey stuff in there. But it does seem like it's going to be a really good book so far. I've read quite a bit now, but I'm not finished yet, so I will tell you my thoughts when I finish. And I know this seems like a really random combination, but I've kind of noticed that when I just read, like when I'm doing reading challenges or this book bingo I did last month, where I tried to sort of read all these fantasy books, I'm just not like, I don't know, I need to get that variation. So I think just like choosing my books and just, I end up reading more that way because I'm just like, I don't know, I'm just enjoying reading more, you know? So that's just really lovely. And yeah, so this is your sign to just read the randomest books and just anything, yes. This segment of the pod is my review roundup. So I'm going to be talking about 3 books that I finished recently, and they are Alchemy of Secrets by Stephanie Garber, Dorothy Must Die by Danielle Page, and My Life with the Walter Boys by Ali Novak. Now, I most recently finished My Life with the Walter Boys, so let's get into that first. I've had a bunch of people come up to me and say, wow, that was a scathing review that you wrote on your channel, and I have to agree. I didn't really enjoy this book. I struggled with the constant sexism that even the romantic lead and like many of the boys in the household were just constantly giving to Jackie throughout the entire book. So for context, this is about New Yorker Jackie, who is recently orphaned. She moves to Colorado and she lives with, I think, 11 Walter boys in this house. And it's kind of like a love triangle. I don't know, I didn't really care about, there were no stakes. It essentially felt like the Inheritance games, like there were lots of comparisons to be drawn. But there were just no stakes. It was just, there wasn't really any plot. I didn't feel like there was too much risk. And also character development, like she said at the end how she grown so much, she came to Colorado and all this, but I didn't really see that. I don't know if it's just me, but I just really didn't enjoy this book. But I know this is a big book talk sensation. It's also on Netflix. But after reading this, I do not think I will be watching the TV show. I was going to kind of pitch this as this is just everything I read. But the more I thought about this, 2 of my recent reads have a lot in common. So I thought it would be nice to sort of just maybe talk and, compare them. That's the vibe. But the reason I'm drawing comparisons between these books is because they both have a character who sort of gets drawn into sort of a magical world, and so a character from our world. So I guess, I don't know, I would say that Alchemy of Secrets is a low fantasy I don't know about Dorothy Must Die because she does get taken to Oz, which is its own world, but she's from Earth. She's from Kansas. So I don't really know. Because a low fantasy is when it's set in our world with magical elements, and a high fantasy is when it's set in like a complete other realm, other world. If you didn't know that, you probably did. I don't know. If you didn't know that, get to know. But so Alchemy of Secrets, I didn't really like as much as I like the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. Yes, that is a very high bar to live up to. I gave all of those books 4 stars and up, I think. Book 1, 4 stars, and then another 4 stars. And then I think Curse for True Love was 4 or maybe 5 stars. I think probably 4.5, I don't know. Check my WhatsApp or my Fable for the details on that. But I think the last one was definitely my favourite. This book just didn't really live up to my expectations. So it essentially follows on this woman, Holland, and she's hiding a pretty big secret. She lives in LA, and it's kind of like old Hollywood sort of mystery vibes. She knows about all of urban legends, and she's just really interested. The first few chapters had me absolutely hooked because it opens with this sort of second person chapter of like being, I guess, a student in the class where she learned about all these urban legends before moving on to third person, and then having a few of these second person chapters sort of interweaved into the book. And I was absolutely hooked. The descriptions were absolutely lavish, like Stephanie Garber, blessed be her pen, you know. That was, I mean, maybe like her keyboard, I don't know. Not many writers write with a pen these days. But blessed be her mind for coming up with these incredible descriptions. Like, not even kidding you, it was incredible. And so I just felt like a part of the world, like instantly from the beginning. Even in the third person chapters towards the beginning, I was absolutely hooked. I thought this could even be my favourite Stephanie Garber book to date. I still haven't read Caraval yet, but it is on my to-do list. So I was just really excited to get into the book, but the more I got into it, the less I enjoyed it. It felt like, I don't want to say nothing happened because I could think of several plot points, but it didn't feel like a lot was happening that was maybe engaging enough. I sort of expected more to happen. Like she set up these romance storylines and these plot points that we never got to. There was a lot of unanswered questions at the end, but this is the start of a series, so I do have hope that we will get some answers later on. But however, I don't really feel like there's much like scope for this. Like, we answer these questions, but what other like sort of quest or mission is Holland going to go on is my question, you know? So spoiler free, but the ending left me wondering a bit. So I think I gave the book like 3 stars or something like that, but the beginning was absolutely incredible, but after that, it just sort of deteriorated and was a bit confusing because of all the unanswered questions. Now on to Dorothy Must Die. We had our heroine, Amy Gum. She comes from Kansas, just like Dorothy, and a tornado takes her in her trailer all the way to Oz. I know, like, it's ringing bells. So it's sort of like the Wizard of Oz, but several years later. So Dorothy returned to Oz, and she now rules there, and she's not really an omnibenevolent or even slightly benevolent ruler. She is meant to be, like, very harsh, very strict rules. She just wants all of the magic in Oz, so Oz is kind of losing its life a little bit. And Amy's obviously, like, really disgusted by this. And she's wondering, like, what is wicked and what is good, and are they so defined? So I feel like this is one to read if you like Wicked, which I very much do. We established in episode 2 that me and my guest Ellie were very big theatre kids. But I do think, be warned, Wicked and Wizard of Oz diehard fans, because your view of Oz might be changed after this, and it might not necessarily be changed for good, if you get my reference. But yeah, I generally enjoyed this title, and I do think I will probably be continuing this series when I get through more of my TBR. Okay, our last segment of the pod is going to be a quick discussion about overconsumption in reading. People go crazy for special editions of books, myself included. I do get tempted to buy special editions of books. You would have heard it on the second episode. But when is too much, you know? Like, you have people who buy like 3 editions of one book, one to display on their shelf, one to read, and one to annotate. Like, I feel like it's my opinion that at that point, we are getting towards buying too many books. So I think it's lovely to like swap books with friends and do like, I'll read yours, you read mine. It's like, it's more sustainable. But some special editions, nobody is a saint to those special editions because they are so beautiful. Now, here's what I think. I think I wouldn't get a special edition of a book that I haven't read yet, because say there's a My Life with the Walter Boy special edition. I don't know if there is, you can, look that up. But I bought that before I read the book, thinking I would enjoy the book, then reading the book and not enjoying the book so much. Would that not feel like, I would feel really disappointed that I'd spent out this much money on a book that I didn't enjoy. So, but if it was a book like A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, I would probably, if it was a good enough special edition, I might be more tempted to buy that. So that is all for another episode of Pages for Ages. Stay tuned because I might be having a very special guest and fellow YouTuber on the pod next episode. So definitely stay tuned for that. Give a comment, drop a like, say hello, and subscribe, and thank you for listening.